Good day, everyone. Jaquel Wimbush here, your host of Back to the Basics of Health and Wellness podcast. On today's episode, I'll be talking to Miss Sloan Schneider Geisinger. She is the founder and coach at Healthy Living with Sloan. Sloan actually lives in Japan, so we're going to be talking to her about how it is coaching in Japan, what type of foods they're eating, and what's her niche practice. Let's get into it. To enjoy the glow of good health, you must exercise.
Daddy, it's time to start your podcast.
Hey, Sloan, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
All is well. All is well. Welcome to Back to the Basics of Health and Wellness podcast. We are glad to have you here. And you are coming all the way from Japan this morning, correct? Or this afternoon on my end. And another day. And a whole nother day.
I am in the morning, 7 a.m., just south of Tokyo.
Nice. So, real quick, what type of breakfast would someone like yourself in Japan eat this morning?
I typically eat what I would normally eat in the U.S. However, I do love when we eat Japanese breakfast. I do love them. It's typically rice with miso soup, sometimes some toast, and tomato and cucumber slices.
Beautiful. So the miso soup in Japan, is it cooked with the good soy in it, or like the soy chunks, or I'll say squares, or it depends?
You do. That's more at the restaurants, or for like a dinner or a fancier meal for breakfast. It's typically just the broth. Sometimes with some green onions sliced in it.
Okay.
But it's typically just the broth itself with rice and toast and some vegetables.
Beautiful. I love miso soup. It's wonderful, especially on a cold day, and get your nasal passage opened up and all that good stuff. Yes. So,
absolutely.
So you are a health coach in Japan, correct?
Correct.
All right. So what's the difference? I would say, like, what would be like the difference in being a health coach in Japan versus the U.S.? I know, the culture is different, but have you had any little hiccups along the way with coming from the U.S. going to Japan and helping people with making lifestyle changes and becoming more healthier?
Well, some similarities and some differences. I actually, because I don't speak Japanese, and none of my clients are Japanese, I have made some Japanese friends here, which is great. And we always talk about the difference in lifestyle and diet and things like that. So I'm very familiar with the Japanese diet, but I have never worked one-on-one with someone from Japan just because of the language barrier. However, as far as resources, one thing I love about being here is just proximity to fresh produce. As with many cultures and countries that have, where the people relied on walking and riding bikes to get to places, it's really easy to have close access to fresh produce. You'll find, they call them green grocers here, and it's just little mom and pop markets that pop up everywhere. They're just in little narrow spaces all along the road, and you can find fresh produce. Wow. So we're in an area about 45 minutes south of Tokyo, and it's very city-like, but then there's a lot of land, and anytime there's a space of land, you see a garden. There are gardens growing everywhere here.
Beautiful.
And then people are able to take that produce and sell it at the market. So easy, quick access and cheap access to produce has been a huge bonus of living here.
That is beautiful because, produce in the U.S., it's hard to come by because it travels. So from far distances and far places, like, we may get grapes from, just different areas that's not even in the U.S. So like Costa Rica and things like that. So, that's a beautiful thing that you can get things right then and there. And a good thing, about living in the States, I would say, as far as trying to get good produce, for the listeners is, becoming a part of a CSA, where you can help out your local farmer and you can get those good, clean vegetables, that's in season. So that's a good thing. So let me ask you a quick question. What made you become a health coach?
Great question. So I was nearing my 40s, and I had four pretty young children. I was busy with them, but feeling tired all the time, lack of energy. I still was overweight. I wasn't obese, but I had never lost all those, 10 or 5 to 10 pounds with each baby. And I had 4 kids, so I had plenty of baby weight that needed to be lost. And my joints were starting to hurt. I thought I was getting nervous that I was getting arthritis at such a young age. And I had adult onset acne, the deep cysts. And anyway, my health just wasn't where it wanted to be. And then kind of the final straw was realizing that I was falling asleep around 5 p.m. every night and missing out on bedtime and time with my husband because I was just exhausted, and then waking up at 7 and starting the day again and never feeling full energy. And I thought just something needs to change. And I was getting worried about my metabolism, knowing that, when you reach your 40s, everyone says your metabolism slows down. And I think many women would agree that kind of is in the back of your mind. So I started trying to figure out what I could do to make some changes. And so I started exercising and being more diligent about that. And that made a little bit of a difference, but not a whole lot. And it wasn't until I was talking to my sister-in-law and she said, "Hey, have you ever heard of green smoothies?" And that was back in the day when green smoothies were not a thing. It was kind of at the beginning of green smoothies. And I said, "No, but tell me more." And so I learned about green smoothies and the benefits of doing it. And I thought, well, it's worth a try. So I started drinking them. And within days, I was amazed at the energy that I felt, and was so encouraged by feeling so much better than I had in months that I just kept doing research and learning about my body and having good foods to fuel it with and provide energy. And just one thing led to another. And I was amazed at the transformation that I made. So I eventually ended up going back to school so that I could learn how to teach others how to make these same transformations in their life.
Beautiful, beautiful. So we got like a similar story because mine was almost the same, just dealing with my own health issues and figuring out things and going to the health food stores and eventually working at a health food store and managing a health food store and becoming a health coach after that. Once I, especially for me, once I started seeing I was making transformations in people's lives that were coming in the store, then that's when I was like, okay, it's go time. So that's a beautiful story. I love it, love it, love it. How many years have you been practicing?
Oh, gosh, let's see. I finished my schooling in 2012, so about 9.
Okay.
About 9 years.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And the name of your business?
It's Healthy Living with Sloan.
Beautiful. Nice, nice. And I guess, we had this conversation before, but how did you come up with your name?
Oh, with the name with Healthy Living with Sloan?
Yes.
Because I really am all about healthy living. I know a lot of people initially think, oh, I just want to lose weight, but it's really about so much more than just losing weight. That really, my belief is that losing weight is simply a lovely consequence of living a healthy life. Excuse me. When you become better physically and emotionally and mentally and spiritually and socially, all of those things play together really to help you to become a better person. And when you do all those things, you just naturally lose weight. It just happens. I remember that for myself. I wanted to lose weight, but I really wanted to get rid of my joint pain and my acne and have my energy back and have clarity of mind. And it was in the process. I had been experimenting and changing and doing different things to my diet and my lifestyle and becoming a more positive thinker. And it wasn't until about 9 months in that I finally decided to weigh myself. It wasn't something that I obsessed over. I just knew I wanted my clothes to fit better. And I was shocked at the amount of weight that I had lost. I knew that my clothes fit better, but I had no idea. And it really wasn't because that was my focus. It was just a lovely consequence of changing other aspects of my life. And that's why I chose healthy living, because that's what really it is all about. It's about living a healthy life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Beautiful thing. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, as a health coach, we have niche practices and we have areas of expertise. What will be your areas of expertise that people come see you for?
I primarily work with women who are empty nesters, who are mid 40s to late 50s, who are starting that stage of life where the kids are gone. They're in a position where they've been used to helping and serving and giving and putting others first for many years. And now it's time to focus on themselves. And a lot of women are like, okay, now what am I going to be when I grow up? What now? Who am I and what do I want to do and what can I do? And And really, I give women a sense of a direction, a course of action to take so that they can learn to understand and value their worth and take control of their life. Because it's easy to flounder at this time when you're going through that transition. And whether it's the result is to lose weight or to have more energy or to increase in confidence so that you can do what you want to do, whoever you want to become, I teach women, I give them the steps and the tools to be able to do that.
Okay, nice. And movement is medicine, and movement is a way of life for you. That we spoke about before. You speak on movement a lot. So if you could give the listeners a little bit of insight on what you mean by that movement, can you just share that a little bit?
Yes, absolutely. So my philosophy is basically eat healthy, move your body, and have a winning mindset.
Nice.
And eat healthy is probably my favorite thing to talk about. I love anything food. I have taught cooking classes, and I love to talk about food combinations and how easy and simple it is to eat good, whole, nourishing foods. Moving your body, I'm a huge proponent for just moving your body. If you sit for more than an hour, get up and move around. Drink lots of water. If for no other reason, then it gets you up so that you have to go to the bathroom.
Yes.
I love park it. Far away, use the stairs.
Yep.
Just when I love, one of my favorite things to do is to talk to people and to engage, and I will often walk and talk at the same time. So any excuse to move your body is awesome. Exercising is great, and it definitely takes effort to schedule exercise time, but there's so many other little ways to move your body. You can do squats while you're brushing your teeth. You can do wall sits while you're talking on the phone. I mean, it's just move your body.
Yes.
And then, of course, having a winning mindset. I love affirmations and positive thinking and not listening to the little voice in your head that tells you can't do it, but taking steps and doing those things that allow you to truly love yourself and want to treat yourself better and give yourself what you deserve.
Absolutely. You hear that, people? Just move. It doesn't mean that you have to, run the 5 miles or 1 mile. Just get up and move your body as much as you can, throughout the day. Absolutely. So, you talked about a little bit about food in the beginning with eating. So what are your favorite foods to eat as far as we're both health coaches, but we're human at the same time. So what would be some of your faves?
Well, it always switches from season to season. During the summer, melon is one of my favorites, and berries. I can't get enough berries. Right now, and especially being in Japan, and let me say kind of a caveat, being in Japan has been a very learning experience in that I've always taught to eat seasonally because that's really what your body needs. Mother Nature knows that in the fall you need warming foods like the root vegetables, and in the spring the weather's starting to lighten up and get cooler, and so you don't need those heavy fruits and vegetables anymore. So what grows in the spring? Greens. And what grows in the summer when you're hot and you need hydration? Fruits that contain a lot of water and hydration. And so nature knows what you need. And living in Japan, I pretty much have had to live that way because we don't have access to fruits. I mean, they ship a little bit in, but primarily so much is grown here that once it's out of season, it's out of season. You can't get it again. For example, in the winter, I love persimmons. They grow persimmons all over the place here, and I will buy a dozen at a time and eat them within a week. But once persimmon season is gone, you cannot find them to save your life. So I have been forced to eat seasonally. So right now, my current favorite it's a Japanese sweet potato, and they're called yaki imo, which means baked sweet potato. And they have the best sweet potatoes. You can go into most any grocery store here, and they have these sweet potato roasters that cook them to perfection. To me, they taste like roasted marshmallows. They are so sweet and gooey, and they just will drip down your hand, and they are phenomenal. It is worth a trip to Japan in the fall just to get a yaki imo.
Nice. And how long do you plan on staying there? Because I know we talked before, and you say you move around. You've moved around from through a couple of countries. How long do you plan on staying in Japan?
My husband is a high school teacher. That's what we're doing here in Japan. His contract is ending this summer, and we're 99% sure that he'll be renewing that contract. So we'll be here at least 2 more years.
Wow. Okay. Good. 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 Because I plan to visit.
Great.
I've been to China, but I haven't been to Japan. So that would be definitely something I would love to do and come and visit you guys.
Yes, absolutely. Just let me know when you're here, and we love to show people around. So
Definitely.
I would be more than happy to.
All right. I was looking at your Facebook page, and you have a Facebook group. Can you give out that information?
Yes, you can find me on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Healthy Living with Sloan. That's my Facebook page, and I post regularly different tips and tricks and thoughts on living a healthy life. And then if you join the group, that's kind of where the action takes place. We dive more into conversation and go more in depth. I share more resources about how you can take those resources and apply them to your life.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, guys, I will definitely have that in the show notes for you. So, if you want to, send her over a friend request or join one of her groups, that information will definitely be there. Sloan, can you give the people 3 tips that you will give out as a health coach? Three tips.
Yes, absolutely. And one thing I was going to say for all of your listeners, because you're great fans of Jaquel, I just wanted to let you know that if you take a look at my Facebook page and decide that you want to take another step and find out more about working with me or doing some health coaching, I would be happy to schedule an initial consultation for free with you. If you did direct message me and mention that you heard me on Jaquel's podcast.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. And as far as tips, let's see. One, I just actually sent this out in a newsletter last week about the importance of rewarding yourself for small wins, for any win, whether big or small. I think it's important to reward yourself, and it can be something as simple as just saying, yes, I did it. I am a winner. It can be texting someone and saying, I just walked a mile. I just drank my 8th glass of water today. I just walked past the cookie jar and didn't eat it. So, contact a friend, take 10 minutes to read a magazine. I shared a list of different things that you can do, big and small, to be able to celebrate your wins. Because it's important to celebrate yourself when you do have those wins, because winning is huge.
Beautiful. I love that.
So that would be one thing. Mm-hmm. Reward yourself for winning, for small wins. Affirmations. I'm huge on affirmations. Again, I've posted in my Facebook group different mantras and mottos that I use myself. Things like, how you do anything is how you do everything, and good, better, best, and cut out, don't crowd out, or crowd out, don't cut out. Mm-hmm. And just different things that run through my mind each day as I'm getting ready to eat and exercise and plan my day and whatever. It's these things that kind of keep me in a positive mindset. So I would say choose an affirmation, choose a mantra that works for you, and post it. Put it on a mirror, put it on your refrigerator, put it on your phone, and remind yourself how good you are and what you want to accomplish that day.
Love it.
And one practical one, if you're going grocery shopping, is to shop the perimeter. I think many people may be aware of that or maybe not, but that's mm-hmm. really where the whole foods hang out. The foods that are going to be nourishing for your body are always in the perimeter of a grocery store. So that's where you should be hanging out.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. If I can ask you one more, being a health coach, as we both know, it's not a common thing right now, but it's becoming more common, as the years progress. But if you can just give a few benefits of why people should work with a health coach.
That is a really good question, because people actually ask me that quite often. And I think the biggest benefit is the accountability and the support.
Yes.
I know for myself, even, I have a coach that I work with, and knowing that I'm going to but I'll be talking to her. One, she helps me with resources just because I have the resources, because she's very generous. She helps me a lot and gives me a lot of resources. And this is a business coach that I'm talking about, not a health coach, but she gives me a lot of resources and tools. But just because I have them doesn't mean I know how to use them or that I use them properly or effectively. And I think the same thing applies to a health coach. I can give you a lot of information. A lot of people, you can find information on the internet. Mm-hmm. it's not information that they need to get from the health coach, but it's how to apply it, how to implement,
Yes.
and then getting the support and the accountability to make sure that that happens. Because it's really easy if you say, "Oh, I'll just make sure I do it." It's really hard to hold yourself accountable because it's really easy to make excuses. But you can't make excuses with a health coach, at least not one that is willing to hold your feet to the fire and say, "You can do better. You're worth more."
Absolutely. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Sloan Geisinger is here. Health coach in Japan. So if you guys want to get in contact with her, I will definitely have all her information in the show notes. And Sloan, thank you for coming on today's show. I really appreciate you. And if you ever have anything else going on, I will definitely love to have you back on.
That would be great. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Today's episode of Back to the Basics of Health and Wellness Podcast was brought to you in part by Tourmaline Wellness. At Tourmaline Wellness, they offer the highest quality vitamins and natural supplements. All of their products are produced in the U.S. at FDA-registered CGMP labs. To learn more about Tourmaline Wellness, go on over to www.tourmalinewellness.com. Hey guys, I would like to thank you all for joining me on today's episode of Back to the Basics of Health and Wellness Podcast. As I sat down and talked with Mrs. Sloan Schneider Geisinger about her wellness practice. To learn more, look her up on Facebook and go over and join her Facebook group to get all those tidbits of wellness information that she offers. Until next time, guys, enjoy, be well, and continue to make a lifestyle change that lasts. Have a great one.